You're watching the TC MMA podcast.
He had a big announcement yesterday right before this event, and that's that Khamzat Chimaev is back. I mean, the guy is back. And who's he fighting? Robert Whittaker. I mean, he's fighting Robert Whittaker. It's crazy. So they're rebooking this fight. And now we know how tough Robert Whittaker is. I mean, he just dominated Ikram Aliskerov. Guy that just had one loss, and that was against Khamzat. So he was virtually undefeated coming in. And Whittaker just dominated him. So now you have a true test. I mean, a true test for Khamzat Chimaev. No one can say now. I mean, it's almost better. I mean, not better because he had to wait and now he's 30 and time is ticking. But better in the sense that if he would have beat Whittaker that night, everyone would have said, oh, Whittaker's washed up, or Khamzat barely won, or whatever have you. Now it's like, okay, we just saw Robert Whittaker in dominating fashion. You couldn't have had a better victory to just go in there and finish Ikram. So now when Khamzat beats him, if Khamzat beats him, right? It's not a foregone conclusion. No one can say anything. I mean, you got to give Khamzat his props, even though people will find a way to break him down. But listen, let's get into this full fight preview and prediction, and we'll come back and break it down even further. In the middleweight division at UFC 308, your co-main event, a rebooked fight featuring Robert Whittaker versus Khamzat Chimaev. Whittaker 27-7, Khamzat still undefeated at 13-0. Khamzat, 2-inch height advantage at 6'2". He's 30. Hard to believe, no longer in the 20s. Robert Whittaker, 33. Both guys in the prime window right now. Khamzat, 1-inch reach advantage. Both guys stand right-handed. Khamzat, 5.7 significant strikes per minute. Whittaker, 4.6. Khamzat lands well over one takedown per round. Whittaker, one takedown every 4 rounds. No big deal. So how's this fight going to play out? Now, they were supposed to fight previously. Khamzat had to pull out about 10 days prior to the event. In steps Aliskerov. Robert Whittaker just dominates Ikram Aliskerov, a guy that was also undefeated and also kind of compared to Khamzat, right? A guy that's on the rise that could potentially step in and beat Whittaker. It didn't go well. Whittaker dropped him early in the first round. It makes this fight even bigger, right? Khamzat struggling as of late, right? He's still undefeated, but struggling to make the fights, having to pull out versus Robert Whittaker in the last fight, having to pull out against Leon several years ago. And, you know, he didn't look great against Usman, although he looked good in the first round and he had an injury, according to him, which made sense. So you have all these things going on. And the bottom line is, can Khamzat step in and be a lot better than Aliskerov? Absolutely. Will he have some octagon rust? Potentially. And that's not good against a guy like Robert Whittaker. It would have been better for Khamzat to fight him previously. But Khamzat gets more time, more practice. He's in the gym. He'll be 100%. Hopefully, because this is a fight that even if he has a minor hiccup, he's going to have to fight. So that's one of the scary factors here. But at the same time, you know me, Khamzat is my number one guy, number one on the do list. We have no reason to believe he's going to fall here, and I'm glad that Whittaker dominated Aliskerov in the previous fight, because if Khamzat, or when Khamzat beats him, it makes it that much more important. Khamzat fighting out of the UAE, Whittaker out of Australia. This fight goes to Khamzat Chimaev, who will have major, major crowd support in this one. I look for him to get the finish in the first round. Yeah, I said it. To move to 14-0. In my opinion here, he'll drop him, likely by submission, to move to 14-0. Middleweight division, UFC 308. Yeah, and I can't stress enough how big of a fight and how important it is. This is basically a must-win for Khamzat. And why you say that, you might ask? Because now he's not in his 20s, a rising star anymore. He's now in his 30s. And once you hit that 30 number, I mean, you're in your prime right now. You're not. There's no point in your career that you're better than you are from the age of 30 to like 33, 34. You start hitting 35, you go down a little bit slowly, and then you hit 37, 38 like you saw with Tony Ferguson, and you fall off the cliff very quickly. Because now you're like 37 or 40 or whatever, and you're facing like 20-year-olds or guys that are 30 to 33 in their prime. So this is the time for Khamzat. If he loses this fight, it's going to be a major setback, and it's not like he's taking on a weak link. He's taking on a guy that looked very good in his last fight. I mean, looked very good in his last fight. So this is absolutely a must-win for Khamzat, and I'm here to tell you he's going to get the job done. That's just what I believe. I don't care about all the other stuff. When he gets in the octagon, he should be 100%. But as I said, it is a scary situation because if he does have a minor hiccup, which may cause him to normally pull out of a fight, he can't do that this time. He's going to have to, so they're going to have to really take this training camp seriously and do it the right way and try to protect him, get him ready, but also let him rest and make sure he's 100% because he's going to have to be. If this fight does go 4 or 5 rounds potentially, Khamzat is going to have to be in perfect shape. So they're going to have to really be delicate with his training camp. At the same time, knowing you're training for Robert Whittaker, it's a tricky situation.
He's gon' fight, he's gon' fight. Hold your breath till the end of the night. Last fight of call, UFC at its height. Bringing that thunder with all his might. Saying, step up, wanna fight? Hold up, think twice. Gladiator, assassin, reckless, no abandon. Walk through that cage, he'll leave your ass.